Think of the subconscious mind as the part of your mental life that runs in the background while you're busy doing other things. It's not a mystical force, and it's not a separate mini-person living inside your head. It's simply a set of fast, automatic processes, pattern detection, habit memory, emotion tagging, that hum quietly beneath conscious awareness and keep you moving through daily life without having to stop and calculate every step. When people talk about the subconscious, they're pointing to that large area of mental activity you don't have to actively do. You feel the results, an urge, a hunch, a sudden idea, long before you can explain where they came from. Seeing it this way keeps the conversation practical and grounded. The first fact is that your subconscious is a prediction machine. Long before you become aware of a situation, your brain is already predicting what sounds you'll hear next, what letters come after the ones you're reading now, and where your foot should land on the next stair. This saves energy and speeds up decisions. It's why you can catch a falling glass without running a mental checklist. Prediction isn't perfect, but it's efficient. The brain would rather make a quick, decent guess and correct if needed than pause for a full-blown analysis every second. In real life, this shows up when you drive a familiar route and come to at your exit, surprised that you navigated safely with so little conscious effort. That predictive ability helps until the context changes and the subconscious loves patterns, even when the pattern needs an update. The second fact is that habits and skills live mostly outside conscious awareness once they're learned. Tying your shoes, typing your password, chopping onions, or riding a bicycle are not things you mentally rehearse step by step anymore. They've been compiled into automatic routines. This is good news because it frees your conscious attention for the parts that still require it. Planning a recipe while your hands chop, or thinking about the meeting while you lace your shoes. Once a skill becomes automatic, your subconscious runs it with little fuss, which is why it feels strange to explain in words how to balance a bike. The how is stored as action, not as a paragraph. The third fact is that the subconscious learns through repetition and emotion. The more often two things occur together, the more tightly your mind links them. If you repeatedly study with the same playlist, those songs start nudging you into a focus state. If you felt sharp embarrassment while speaking in class, your body may later tense up in any situation that even slightly resembles public speaking, even if the audience is just 3 colleagues you trust. Repetition builds the association. Emotion stamps it in. This is not moral or logical, it's mechanical. Strong feelings tell the system, this mattered, remember it. This is why one bad experience with a barking dog can create a disproportionate fear of all dogs. The subconscious isn't weighing statistics, it's remembering the intensity and preparing you to avoid similar pain. The fix isn't to shame yourself for being irrational, but to retrain the association. Calm, repeated exposure to friendly dogs paired with safe outcomes and relaxed breathing gives your system new data. Over time, the emotional coloring around dog lightens. The same principle can be used deliberately for positive change. Celebrate small wins, even quietly, and your mind learns to associate the effort with a little burst of satisfaction, making the next rep easier to start. The fourth fact is that the subconscious is fast but sometimes sloppy. It uses shortcuts, heuristics, to save time. That's why your first impressions form in milliseconds, and why your attention snaps to someone who looks vaguely like a friend in a crowd. Shortcuts help you move through life, but they can also feed biases and repeated mistakes. You may overestimate how dangerous a situation is because it resembles a past event, or underestimate a risk because nothing bad has happened before. The speed is useful when crossing a street or sensing an off note in a conversation. The sloppiness shows up when you rely on the first instinct in complex decisions that deserve a second look. A practical way to work with this speed-accuracy trade-off is to build a two-step habit. Trust your first read for quick safety checks, then do a brief review before acting on anything important. For example, write the snappy email reply you feel like sending, then wait 10 minutes. Reread and look for what your fast system may have missed, or make a fast guess about which task matters most today. Then open your calendar and check deadlines. You're not fighting your subconscious. You're letting it do the first pass and then giving your conscious mind the final say. The fifth fact is that the subconscious speaks in images, sensations, and associations more than in neat sentences. You notice this when a smell throws you back to childhood, or when a mental picture of a finish line nudges you to keep jogging. It's why mental rehearsal is powerful for athletes and performers. When you vividly imagine a skill, how the ground feels under your feet, the sound of the ball, the rhythm of your breathing, you're sending your nervous system a blueprint it can practice against. You're not magically creating results. You're priming the circuits you'll use later, so they fire more smoothly when you need them. You can bring this into everyday life without turning it into a ritual. Before a difficult conversation, picture the room. Imagine your voice steady. Feel yourself pausing before you respond. Add 1 or 2 likely challenges. Someone interrupts you, a question throws you off, and imagine yourself handling them calmly. This isn't pretending everything will be perfect. It is giving your subconscious a short, concrete preview so it can recognize the moment when it arrives. The sixth fact is that the subconscious is closely tied to the body. Your internal signals, heartbeat, breathing, muscle tension, gut sensations are constantly monitored and interpreted. A tight chest can be translated as danger, even if the tightness came from 3 coffees and poor sleep. Likewise, a slow exhale can be read as safer now, which is one reason paced breathing and grounding exercises help. You're not hacking your brain so much as giving it a clear, physical message that the threat has passed. This body-mind link is visible in stage fright. Your hands shake, your mouth dries, your thoughts race. Telling yourself to calm down rarely works because language comes late in the chain. But if you loosen your shoulders, place both feet on the ground, take a slightly longer exhale than inhale for a minute, and let your eyes rest on something steady, your physiology shifts. The subconscious notices the change and reduces the alarm. Then your words have a better chance of landing. The seventh fact is that the subconscious edits your attention before you know it. Out of the thousands of sights and sounds around you, only a tiny fraction make it into awareness. The brain favors what it expects, what is relevant to your goals, and what carries emotional weight. That's why new parents can sleep through traffic noise, but wake instantly to a soft whimper. It's also why you start seeing a certain car model everywhere the week you're considering buying it. You didn't create more cars, you adjusted the filter. You can shape that filter by setting a clear intention. If you decide, today I'm looking for moments where I can practice a 60-second tidy, your attention becomes sticky to those chances. The messy coffee table, the dishes in the sink, the emails you can archive in one sweep. If your intention is, notice one helpful thing my colleague does, your perceptual system starts highlighting behaviors that would have slid past before. The day hasn't changed, your filter has. This is a quiet but powerful way the subconscious serves your goals once you hand it a simple rule. The eighth fact is that sleep trains the subconscious. During deep sleep, factual memories and procedures are strengthened. During REM sleep, emotional memories are integrated and creative connections are explored. That's why sleeping on it often produces a clearer answer in the morning and why a problem can feel smaller after a good night's rest. Dream content can be odd, but the function is practical. Reorganize, link, and sometimes downshift the intensity of yesterday's experiences so they fit better with the rest of your life. You can take advantage of this by doing a brief setup before bed. Write down the single question you want your mind to keep simmering, something specific like, "What's the first step for the budget problem?" And then close the notebook. In the morning, jot the first 2 or 3 ideas that come up, even if they seem ordinary. This small ritual tells your subconscious what to work on and then lets sleep do its consolidation job. It's not magic, it's good housekeeping for the mind. Those are the 8 facts in plain language. It predicts, automates, learns through repetition and emotion, moves fast with shortcuts, communicates in images and sensations, listens to the body, filters attention, and trains during sleep. Understanding them matters because they explain why change often feels uneven. You can decide to act differently, but the older associations, predictions, and routines don't vanish on command. They update the way any well-used system updates, through consistent input, clear signals, and time.